Welcome back to another episode of Day One Radio on Live Hip Hop Daily. Appreciate y'all watching us there and listening on through CLNS Media. You can always find the podcast. If you don't catch it live, you can catch us on iTunes, or they call it Apple Podcasts now, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, anywhere else that you can find your podcast. And as you see, or as you hear, my brother Maurice Garland is not with me today, but we're going to keep it rocking. There's a lot going on out here. I'm sure Herb is going to chime in, the producer. We was already talking before the show about all the crazy stuff going on in the world. But before we get into anything, man, I think one thing everybody's excited about this week is the return of the show Atlanta. And they did, shout out to Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover and everybody involved. They did some dope events here in the city over the last couple of days. So Saturday, they did an ice block party at Ponce de Leon at the Ponce City Market that was crazy. It was probably top 5, one of the best parties I've been to in Atlanta, hands down. And I went to college here. So I was partying in Atlanta when Atlanta was Atlanta, before the bottle service and before BMF and all of that. Like, I was here when it was cool. So that was a super dope event. And then earlier this week, they shut down the drive-in, and I haven't been to the drive-in in God knows how long, probably 10, 15 years, but they shut down the drive-in to do the actual premiere of the show. And if you guys have been paying attention, the show is called Robin Season, and it is that. Like, it gets real from the absolute jump. We was all sitting there watching the first 2 episodes, and it was like, damn, am I watching a comedy? Am I watching some gangster shit? Am I watching some drama? Like, it's official. I don't want to give away too much. The show starts on FX on March 1st, I believe, at 10 p.m. But it's official, man. Like, they have gotten some next level situations, and I gotta take my hat off to Donald Glover for being able to pull off having his brother, in a damn near all black writer's room and an Asian co-executive producer, and doing the show and running it and having this high of control over what's going on and putting out a good product. It's a lot of times people have control and the shit sucks, but it's actually a dope ass product, and I got to give it to him. I think one thing people are gonna gravitate to is that Cat Williams pops up in the first episode as Paperboy's uncle. They call him Alligator Man because he does have an alligator, if y'all have seen some of the previews or whatnot. So that was kind of crazy, and even that was very dark. Like, it's funny, but it's real, and it's like authentic to the struggle of what's going on with a lot of people in Atlanta and any inner city across the country. And I think they, a lot of times from season 1, we saw the progression of Paperboy and him coming up and all of that stuff, and you just expect in season 2 that they're going to be balling and doing their thing, but it's still struggles. He's still trapping. He's still dealing with fame. He's still dealing with the being a straight-ahead rapper in a world full of mumble rappers. So it's real, like, and I gotta take my hat off to them for sure. But definitely watch the show, man. I saw the first 2 episodes, and I was definitely impressed. Like, they got standing ovations after both episodes. Like, it was truly official. So make sure that y'all check out the Atlanta show for sure when it comes out. Something else is dropping this week. Me and Herb was talking about Unsolved. 20 Years, No Justice, a 10-part true crime series based on the murders of Tupac and Biggie. Are you gonna watch the show, Herb?
Maybe, because first of all, I didn't even know 10 parts. To me, that's too much.
I think that's like 10 hours.
Right.
It's got to be 10 hours. I doubt they're 30-minute episodes. So you talking 45 minutes of content plus commercials,
and then stories we've heard and we know. So it's like,
it's ironic that you say that. Me and Maurice were at one of our guys, KB, celebrated 20 years of his barbershop this weekend, Off the Hook Barbershop here in Atlanta. So shout out to them. But we were just chopping it up, and we were like, yo, I understand that you know, it's 20 years, things go in cycles, so it's a nostalgia thing, but it's like, it's damn near overkill. Like, we had the Death Row Chronicles thing, we had A&E did a Tupac or a Biggie thing, one of the two. I think a Biggie thing. My man P. Frank Williams, friend of the show, he did the Pac thing on Fox with Ice-T and Soledad O'Brien. So it's like, I understand if things are getting greenlit, then you go with it. But it's like, yo, 10 parts, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's too much.
But then on the flip side, though, we can't complain that they can only fit so much in the Pac movie in 2 hours, and then we complain about 10 hours. So it's like, which one do you want? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm probably gonna, I'm definitely not going to like sit down and watch all of it. This will probably be something I probably don't finish until like the summer, if I do sit down and watch it. I'm just not sure what new they can bring to the table.
That's the thing, and I think they selling it like they gonna have. There's something that's gonna be shown that we don't know, and I don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's for the young crowd. Actually, they trying to.
Me and Reese were talking about that, and he was saying like we actually lived through this, and we were around, and we consumed the content as it was happening. You know what I mean? Like, we are from that era. Like, I met Pac. My cousin recorded songs with Pac. You know what I mean? I seen Big live. I was there. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know, man. I want to sit down and watch it and really take it in, but I take all this stuff with a grain of salt, especially when it's going through a huge machine that is USA.
At the same time, I think it's good they're doing. It might be overkill that they're doing it, but like you said, for the younger people, because if we get to the point to where the next generation, they be like, who is Pac, or what, you know,
right.
They don't know the legacy of Pac.
Right,
and
right,
it's
right.
just like now it's being disrespectful, and it's like, okay, that education wasn't put out there. But I mean, I can see where y'all coming from saying it's overkill. Yeah, it just, you know, it probably just ain't for y'all.
That's real. That's real, and I respect that. I feel like it's for probably for younger people, for people that were there that want to reminisce, and also for people that maybe that are of age but were completely in another lane during those times. Because people forget, like, Pac was only on for like 6-7 years before he was killed. Big was only on for so long before he was killed. So this is a small moment in time that just had that much impact. But you know, we'll see.
Have you seen the Death Row joints?
I watched it.
How is it?
The Death Row Chronicles, which is, I believe, is on BET On Demand now. It's a lot of hip hop stuff on TV right now, which is good.
Dope, yeah.
That's good. I like the fact that they talk to Suge a lot. They pretty much, he damn near narrated it from prison. I'm not gonna say I felt bad for him watching it, but I was like, yo, man, like, we saw the fall of Death Row and the fall of Suge Knight over time. You know what I mean? They had a strong run, then fell off, and never came back. But to watch it over like 3-4 hours is insane. You know what I mean? Like, this dude was on top of the world. Like, Kevin Powell, I don't know if you guys aren't familiar, former writer for Vibe, you know, has done some political things in Brooklyn. He made an excellent point. He was like, this label had one of the most iconic figures in music ever. One of the best rappers ever in Snoop. You know what I mean? And it's sad, man. Like, one thing I want to say, Dre Touch It, like, that dude, all of the dog pound out, he's ridiculous. Off on a tangent and all. It was crazy to watch Suge go from being on top, running the game, everybody respecting or fearing him, to being irrelevant. And I used
intimidating presence about him.
Nah, I believe in that. I'm like you. My pops taught me, if you respect, he treated me with respect. You know what I mean? I ain't no a cool. It's too many stories out there he tried to portray himself as on the Death Row Chronicles thing as Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster, as the guy who everybody wanted to portray as a bad guy, as a monster, as an evil dude, but he was just trying to help people. And in his mind, I'm sure that's what it was. But if you surround yourself with, gangbangers, and when you surround yourself with gangbangers and people, not that there's anything, well, I got friends that bang, but whatever. When you surround yourself and people doing dirt, and people scared to come to the studio and stuff like that, like, it just gets crazy. And he, financially, he did a lot of people wrong. Like, they said that was another thing in the documentary. They was like, all them houses, all them cars and everything, when he went to jail and the FBI seized stuff, like, it was people that just didn't have nowhere to live no more because everything was under the name of the label. You know what I mean? So it was.
Is there a hip hop executive that didn't fuck niggas over? Is there one? Cause I never heard of JD's story.
I don't know, man. That's a
crazy.
Good question.
Like, everybody has a story about all the top hip hop executives, and that's crazy, man.
I think it's one of them things, man. Like, I kind of don't feel sorry for people if you're signing a bad contract after so many years, because it's so many examples now.
Right now. But I'm talking.
Now, I'm not talking about if you signed in the early 90s or the 80s or something like that, because you had examples from other genres, but hip hop contracts was a little different because nobody thought it was going to be around. You know what I mean? But once you got people like Chuck D putting you up on game and all of that, it's like, come on, man. Like, it ain't no excuse now. You sign a bad contract, that's on you.
You got to think about it. I'm gonna give an example as the NBA young boy, right?
Okay.
There can be an executive like some who's the topic TDE person or some come and we're gonna do this for you to get out of jail. The first deal is always the fuck deal, so he would sign that in the situation he's in.
He might. I mean, he's 19 though, so that's different. You know what I mean? Like, he don't know no better.
True. Okay.
Like, my thing is, like, everybody makes a thing about Pac, Suge bailing Pac out of jail and the deal and all of that. But, I got it on good authority that Suge didn't even put up the money to bail Pac out of jail. Atron Gregory, who signed Digital Underground and who signed Pac and all of that, from what I understand from people very close to the situation, he's the one that put out the money. The Interscope funneling Suge money or Suge putting up the money as folklore. It's a good story.
Wow. So right, and from what I was listening to Dads when they said that in that Defiant one thing, he was like, yeah, that ain't true, and that's crazy.
Yeah. That's from. I wasn't there, so I don't know for sure, but I directly asked this question to people who were around, and they corroborated it. You know what I mean? And at some point, we're gonna get Atron on the podcast because my cousin is real tight with him, so we gonna get him on it because he has a wealth of knowledge. That dude was in with NWA, everybody back in the day. He just was a dude that was about his business off top. But another thing everybody talking about, we spoke on her a little bit last week. Your girl Monique went on the Breakfast Club, and in my opinion, just was really on one. Like, if you guys have not watched the Breakfast Club interview with Monique and her husband Sydney, kind of going in on Charlamagne, going in on the whole cast or whatnot, please sit down and watch it. And I posted on Facebook that I watched it reluctantly, and I was going to share my opinion on the podcast. So several people hit me up like, yeah, we want to know what you think. So here we go. I have no issue with Monique wanting to get her bread. I don't count nobody pockets. I say get as much money as you possibly can. What I have an issue with is Monique saying that this is an issue of gender or sexism or colorism, when to an extent it is. Like, you backtrack on everything. Monique did, and she's explained all of this, Monique did Precious for $50,000 as a favor to Lee Daniels. The movie got sold. They knew it was gonna blow up, so they tried to get her to come over to Cannes to the film festival to promote it. If you peep, a lot of times black actors have an issue with studios wanting you to do promotion for free. And
overseas is the thing she was beefing about because she already did it here.
Well, even still, like if you remember Kevin Hart on one of his specials, Sony, I believe, wanted him to tweet and stuff for it. And he was like, I have several followers. Like, why would I do this for free? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. So Monique didn't want to go to Cannes to promote it. She wanted to chill out with her family. So Lee Daniels called. She was like, oh, I'm cool. You know, I'm going to relax. The studio, I believe, was Lionsgate called. They wanted her to come. She was like, well, you know, asking, you know, is this a paid thing? Nah, it's not. Won't. Granted, these studios do cut checks for promo to mainstream actors and actresses. So I understand that 100%. Tyler Perry calls. I'm cool. Oprah calls. I understand standing on your principles. My nigga, if Oprah called you to do something, you probably should do it. It's probably a good idea to do it. Oprah reach is very, very long. And that's black woman to black woman. You know what I mean? So she didn't do it. Long story short, she didn't do it. She didn't go over there. And so people started saying she was difficult to work with. I can understand that. If in your mind, you're like, dude, we have this movie that you are starring in. There's Oscar buzz. We're going to pay for you to get over here. We even offered to put you up for an extra week. And you like, and they dangled the carrot like, well, if you do this for us, we got you on the back end. We all know sometimes that works, sometimes it don't work. But you in the system, you got to play the game. So fast forward to the Breakfast Club interview. I listened to the whole thing, watched the whole thing. So she was on her thing. You know, her and her husband, they get these long-ass, drawn-out stories, you know, over the river and through the woods to get to a point. They never answer nothing directly, but it's game. I understand it, like, that's what they doing. But midway through, they finally got her. She said Netflix can offer her what they offered her because she has been blackballed. To me, that's saying this is not about women comedians. It ain't about black comedians. It's about you. You have been blackballed, so that is what they offered you. So all of this other stuff is a B-side to it. That's the B story. Like, I want more money. I felt disrespected about the offer, so now I'm going to put the back end on this that it's sexist or it's racist or it's a gender issue. But that sounds crazy because the three people that you brought up, two of them was black men and one of them was a woman. So you count other people's pockets.
Hilarious. Yeah.
I just thought that was foul. I wasn't really feeling it. And then the way she came at Charlamagne, because he gave her Donkey of the Day. He's an entertainer. Like, that's what they do. He gives somebody Donkey of the Day every day, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it is called Donkey of the Day. You just happen to get it that day. And then her coming in saying that she just wants everybody to know that this man doesn't respect black women. I'm like, come on, bruh.
Yeah, she did go. She went too far with the ending too, calling him basically a coon, a house nigga, and all that. Basically, that was whack.
I'm like, she was out of pocket. She was super out of pocket. And my thing is this: I'm not here to come down on nobody, because I feel like you get what you want. You get what you get. Hustle for what you want. But my thing is, what is your end game? You doing all these interviews, you doing all these shows, but you ain't announced nothing. You ain't putting nothing out there. If nobody will give you a deal, because they probably won't, you have gained so much traction that you can say, I'm renting out the Fox Theater on April whatever, or I'm renting out whatever theater in D.C., but you from Baltimore, do it in Baltimore. Hire your camera crew, spend your bread, and tape it, and put it out on your way. Like, the path is already out there. Louis C.K. been doing this for years. You know what I mean? And it's helped him because he's gotten good ass deals after that. Like, there are enough people who are either curious or think she's absolutely right that she could get hundreds of thousands of people to spend $5 or $10 to watch her special on her website, and that's that.
I believe that's the end game. I think.
But why is she not announcing it?
I know that's what's crazy. I don't know.
It's ignorant. Like, to me, I just feel like she want attention. Like, and I feel like, and I'm all down for black love. I'm down for black folks working together. But the dichotomy between her and her husband, the shit just seemed weird, dude. I'm like, he always jumping in, side busting. I'm like, fam, she got it. Like, let this woman speak her piece.
You know, I don't think people take the conversation serious with her once she starts saying the daddy and all that.
Right.
That I don't feel comfortable. I'm uncomfortable when I hear that. And that
it's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. I didn't, because on the Breakfast Club, he was on the phone.
Right.
So I didn't know what the hell was going on for a second. And then she kept doing all weird motions and stuff. I'm like, what is she doing? I guess he was on FaceTime or on the iPad. It was just hella weird, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on with this situation. But I know that she needs to figure out some kind of an end game, bruh. You cannot be out here doing all these shows. You on The View. You on the Breakfast Club. Like, she ain't just doing little stuff.
Right.
She doing
She's
big
big
mainstream stuff, getting millions of eyes on her. Why are you not selling something?
Maybe she's still waiting for them to give her a different, bigger number. That's how.
And
what
that's
I'm thinking.
crazy.
Yeah,
that's hustling backwards.
Right.
Because it ain't coming. It ain't coming. Dude, I don't know what deals Netflix has done giving like Melanie Camacho and Trevor Noah and all of these people. I doubt it was multi-millions. Right. And my thing is, dude, what is the end game for Netflix? Because it's very few people that don't have a Netflix subscription that are like, I'm going to sign up for Netflix to watch this special or that special. I'm pretty sure that number is low. Those of us who have Netflix, the money just come out every month,
right,
and it is what it is. Whether we watch it or not, they get their bread. Right. So I haven't seen advertisements on Netflix, so I don't know if they're leveraging like product placement within certain things or what. I'm sure there's some kind of method to the madness because they spending billions on content, so they're making their money somewhere.
I think how it goes, what my assumption is, like, say when the big projects like the Dave Chappelle's and Chris Rock, that people who don't have it would go get it, like with the Will Smiths and all that.
Yeah.
People who don't got it, but like you said, mad people got it already, so I don't see them the subscribers bumping up off of a Monique.
But it has to be another revenue stream. Like, the subscription base can't be Netflix only revenue stream. Right. Like, it can't be. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So, especially with the money they spending, because like if you look at HBO, the reason that their shows seasons are so short is because they don't pay that much. So they need to give their actors and directors time to go and produce other things so they can make bread. With Netflix, dude, they cutting big checks. So I don't know what that's all about. Another thing that I thought was crazy and I thought was some BS was the fact that she said, they keep saying that this deal that they offered, the $500,000 deal, that she couldn't work for 2 years. And I'm like, no, that don't even sound right. Now, I can see them saying, you can't perform these jokes on the road for 2 years, but you're a comedian. Write some other shit. If we just all seen Chris Rock special, which I thought was pretty good. I finally watched it. We talked about it last week. I thought it was too short, but I thought it was pretty good. If I paid $100 to go see Chris Rock next week or next month, and he was selling the same jokes that he was selling on a Netflix special, I'm gonna be mad. This ain't a rap concert. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to hear new material, or at least flip it up a little bit. It was just a little crazy to me, man. But you know what? I can't knock they have to have an end game. I refuse to believe that they just out here looking crazy in the street for no reason.
Well, maybe the end game was to get the next chick to get more money. Because did you hear about Tiffany Haddish getting a deal or whatever? They didn't say no numbers, but they was like a multi-million-dollar deal.
Well, she's the next big thing. That's who Hollywood has co-signed. So it's up to her to be funny and push the line on the next thing. Because Tiffany Haddish is funny as hell. She's super real. Her story is crazy. If you've ever heard her story, like, it's absolutely insane. And she's put in work. Like, Tiffany Haddish been in the comedy game for years. Like, she was homeless doing comedy clubs, sleeping in her car. So I can't knock the hustle, but that's one of them things. Like, she's sitting up here, Monique, talking about shit that happened 15 years ago. Don't nobody care, bruh.
True.
Like, Charlamagne kept making the point, like, these people are selling out arenas and theaters around the world.
Let me ask you this, brother. If Eddie Murphy says, yo, I'm about to do I want to get back into stand-up, Netflix will give him mad money.
He's Eddie Murphy.
No, you can't say, we going off of resumes,
nobody,
right?
but
Wait,
nobody, no, we're not. We're not going off resumes.
Anything in how long?
We're not going off.
We're not even guaranteed.
We're not going off resumes. We're going off of, if you say, what are the top 5 comedy specials of all time? Is I Could Have Been Your Cellmate in there?
Nah.
Is Raw and Delirious in there?
I mean, one or the other.
Right. And I'm not saying it's fair, because I just watched Martin's special from 2016, and that shit is trash.
Wait, which one? The last one he just... The next
And it was on Showtime.
Showtime.
Martin Lawrence.
Right, yeah.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I got through like 20 minutes and turned it off.
So bust it. That could be the same thing with Eddie. So why?
Oh, it could be.
They would give him a big check though.
But you gotta be willing to take that risk, because the demand is there. Don't nobody want to see a Monique special more than Monique.
Hilarious.
That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, like, I would watch it, I would support, because I feel like, yes, she's put in work. Do I consider her a legend? Not really. Just because you've been around for a long time don't mean you're a legend.
She's the queens of comedy.
What do that mean?
What
What do that mean? Like, Adele Givens is funny. Samora is funny. Miss Laura is funny.
Yeah,
to me,
there you go.
as far as female comedians, I think Lunel is the funniest female comedian out there. She hilarious. But ain't nobody giving Lunel $5 million because it's niche comedy. And Lunel does white movies. She do black movies. Her and Adam Sandler is super tight. So but she plays the game. My thing is, you can't decide when you want to be in the game and when you're going to be out of the game. If you're going to be in the game, if you're going to go to Netflix and you're going to negotiate and try to make some shit happen, then you got to play the game. If that's not the case, then go to Quality TV, which is the black-owned version of Netflix, and work out a deal with them.
Wait, what's the name of it? I didn't know.
Quality, Kweli TV, I believe is the name of it. So go to them, work out a back end. Because my thing is, I would guarantee, it's about margins, bruh. Like, you might not reach 10 million people, but you reach those 10 million and you're making pennies on the dollar. Whereas you can go somewhere else and reach 250,000 people and you're making $5 a lick. That's way more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't necessarily think Monique is that funny. I think she has a bad attitude, but she's my sister, and I'm going to support her. If she comes out with a special, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to sit there and watch it with an open mind. But don't piss on me and tell me it's raining, bro. You about Hilarious. You and your family. You are not tripping off of the next one that's coming up and putting them under your wing and giving them the game, because they really watching how not to do it.
Hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? With you, because I guarantee you, if she could go back to them conversations with Oprah, it would be a different ball game.
Did you see the picture Charlamagne put up?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious.
I guess it was that they did the Wrinkle in Time joint in L.A. last night. So I think Charlamagne was there, and he watched it and took a picture with Oprah. And the looks on their faces, you knew what they was talking about.
Yeah, it was so funny.
You knew what they was talking about.
Funny.
I can't knock the hustle though, man. Do what you do. And I just thought how she handled it was foul. And it doesn't make sense to me.
But let me ask you, does she deserve more than 500,000?
You deserve what the market dictates.
So then, but like she said, there hasn't.
I think 500,000 is a foul offer. I think it's whack. But I think instead of saying, you don't beg master to give you what you want.
True.
If you come to somebody and they say, we'll offer you 500,000, that's an insulting offer. She done put in work. She got an Oscar. The thing is, everything she's talking about don't have shit to do with stand-up comedy.
That was the other killer, right? The movie, the Oscar movie.
Precious came out over 10 years ago.
Wow, word? That long?
Precious came out maybe 2009. It's been a long time ago.
Long time.
It's been a very long time. She ain't did a stand-up special on TV.
Since the jail joint, right?
Exactly. That was a long time ago. And that was funny. That was a funny special. And it was dope that she went to the prison. That was fire. The Queens of Comedy tour, that was 10, 15 years ago.
But when they say sell out arenas, that's what they did. They was rocking.
It was 10 to 15 years ago. My thing is this, and I'm going to leave it alone. Chuck D is a legend, correct?
Correct.
Nobody would disagree with that. Chuck D is a legend.
True.
If Public Enemy announced a tour tomorrow and the tickets was $300, ain't nobody going to be there. Jay-Z is a legend. Jay-Z announces a tour tomorrow and the tickets are $300, they going to sell. They're going to sell. There is a difference. Legends are legends, period. If people consider Monique a legend, that's cool. That doesn't mean that you're relevant or marketable to an audience that is ticket buyers right now. That's all I'm saying. I think she's a little delusional. She needs somebody in her camp to give her a reality check. Hopefully she don't hear this or see this and start cussing me out. I don't want no problems, Monique or Sydney.
Hey,
y'all got it.
Everybody she get at, Oprah comes and checks.
Do it then.
Yeah, so
do it. I'll take a picture
of
of Oprah. I talked to Oprah about how come she used to shit on hip hop. Now she friends with all the rappers.
Crazy.
That's and I asked her about why she was fucking with Harvey Weinstein. Now she quiet. I asked her about all of that. I'm gonna keep it 100. Then they'll blackball me, and I'm gonna have to come to y'all. I'm gonna have to come to y'all like, hey man, they offered me $500,000 for the rest of my life. I couldn't take it. But yo, man, it's all good, dude. I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all listening. Please make sure that you go to Day One Radio on on every social media and follow us. Comment, chop it up with us. Let us know what you like about the show. Let us know what you would like to improve. We'll be back next week. My brother Reese will be back next week, and we'll be rocking. Peace.